We'll now go to the gentlewoman from Colorado, Ms. Pettersen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for being here today. Members have a lot going on towards the end of the year, so I apologize I couldn't be here earlier for some of my questions that have already been asked. But before we get started, I just want to congratulate Chairman McHenry on the final hearing after decades of public service. It has been incredible to work with you, and even though we don't agree on everything, I appreciate that you gave this freshman the opportunity to work across the aisle to actually get some important amendments through and work together in a bipartisan way. That's how this place is set up to function, and I hope that we can see more of that in the future. And Mr. Ward, from you, and I apologize once again if you've already talked about this, but you mentioned in your testimony around having to move from Austin to San Francisco to secure funding for CARTA to get off the ground. What do you think that we need to do to support both founders and emerging managers to invest in places outside of Silicon Valley, places like Colorado?
Thank you, Congresswoman. The Boulder and the Denver area has actually an early but thriving venture scene. We have many customers in the region, and when I talk to them, particularly in Colorado, the more that they can bring fellow investors to the region, because the entrepreneurs will go to where the investors are, and if you have a catalyst or a critical mass of investors in your region, entrepreneurs will come, employees will follow the entrepreneurs, and you'll start to catalyze an ecosystem. That's how San Francisco and Silicon Valley started. That's how New York has risen to ascendancy, and I think that can be true in Colorado as well.
Thank you. And another question for you, something that I know one of the biggest barriers that we face to leading the world on AI is making sure that we can meet the energy needs. And when I think about Colorado, we have many innovative energy companies. We have geothermal, we have solar, we have numerous opportunities. We have natural gas to actually support our energy needs. But what do you think that we need to be doing now to make sure that we're looking at how do we incentivize and create the opportunity to invest in some of these innovative energy companies to meet the growing need? It's something that really worries me in terms of competing with China, but it's also, of course, the consequences if we don't look to new technology, to new innovation to meet our energy need around climate change.
Congresswoman, it makes me smile to tell the story that one of the first customers of CARTA, when we launched 11 years ago, I think they were the first 10 customer, was an entrepreneur named Yoav, who was in Denver, and his company was called Simple Energy. And Colorado has had a long history of driving innovation on the energy side. I think that can continue to be true. And when we look at many of the venture firms that are there, like Foundry Group, Hannah Gray, Rocky Mountain Capital Ventures, many of them are taking an energy focus in their fund thesis. And I think the more that you can bring like-minded investors who want to focus on energy as their thesis in their investments, you'll bring more of those energy companies and energy entrepreneurs to Colorado.
Great, thank you. And then looks like I have a minute left, so I don't know if you have anything that you'd like to highlight that we should be focused on around AI as we go into the next 2 years.
At CARTA, we're big supporters of AI. We believe it's an incredible new tool for us. The one suggestion I have as we think about regulation around AI is any new technology, sufficiently good technology, looks like magic when it first appears. So again, imagine the people that were using the slide rule and then they discovered the calculator. It looked like magic. When computers first came on board, it looked like magic. Internet looked like magic. AI looks like magic. Earlier, one of the congressmen was talking about Terminator, one of my favorite movies. I'm not sure we should look at Hollywood movies as a way to think about policy. I have this thesis that if Terminator was a feel-good movie, we would be talking about AI very differently today. And so I encourage you to take a balanced but progressive and liberal view to AI regulation.
Great, thank you so much. I yield back.
Thank you, Ms. Pettersen, and thank you for your leadership on this committee and the important work of